from falling close to the ground. Perish or try to fight it, parachute now. Last chance, the final moment, parachute now. And deliver us to the ground. I wanna pull the string. On and on, I feel the speed. Too far to break from pressure. Too much to bear.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 94 of the Chris Parrish podcast. My name is Chris Parrish. How is everyone doing today? It's another week of NFL football. We have a huge week of pro wrestling that just happened. But before we get into any of that, if you want to help support the channel, all you have to do is hit a like, a subscribe, a share, all that good stuff. And where you can do that is right down below on my link tree at Chris Parrish. If you want to help the show and Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, please check out turnbucklestudios.org. And if you want to help support beercadewhyte, please go to 10544 82nd Avenue in Edmonton, Alberta. And go and check out their amazing menu, all their amazing arcade games, as well as their free showings of WWE PLEs and AEW pay-per-views. If you want a video reminder of the carlterrafeld.redbubble.com and you want to help and swag out with the merch that you see, we'll look no further. Because right away, we're going to give you a video where you can see everything you can possibly get. And with that, we are going to dive right in. And I want to thank everyone who's watching all the platforms. That's right. We are live for the first time ever on the Turnbuckle Studios Switch as well. And thank everyone who's checking us out on Instagram. But we're going to go to the first topic of the day as we say hello to Chris Best, who's in the chat. Saying howdy, how are you doing? And the big news is, well, let's face it, Andrade, as per Fightful, has been reported that he is no longer with WWE. And it's been apparently something in the works for a few weeks now. Now, whether or not you guys believe what we hear, it is being reported on multiple sources over the interwebs. So let's take the time to speculate on what is going on. What do we think initially? Because when I first heard it, I couldn't believe it. Andrade already gone. He's been with WWE for about a year and a half, reportedly, with 18 months left on his contract. So what happened? We have not heard anything about him being unhappy or wanting to leave. My only thought of this is, well, perhaps it's just at a point where the two sides felt it was better off to part ways, and that maybe a homecoming, as nice as it was at first, didn't translate to what was wanted. So a mutual separation happened. We knew Andrade was currently in a tag team with Rey Fenix, and last competed in a multi-tag team ladder match at SummerSlam. So whether or not, on a creative standpoint, you were gonna continue with that or not, I don't know. But it leads me to believe that Rey Fenix is going to join his brother Penta at some point in the near future. So the Lucha Bros might just be a thing on WWE television. Now, Chris Best is saying is that he's hearing that he was fired over a backstage incident. Now, that's something that's out there. Whether or not that's what happened, we don't know. We don't know the reason why. We don't know if he was fired, if it was asking for a release, or something else. But all we do know is Andrade is confirmed to be no longer with the World Wrestling Entertainment. So where could he go? Could he go back to AEW? Potentially. Could he go and take some time off? Potentially. The one thing I do know is Andrade always wanted to go into acting. He wanted to dip his toes in some acting stuff. So maybe that's what he does. All I know is I'm a fan of the performer Andrade, whether it's Andrade El Idolo, whether it's Andrade Cien Anonymous, or just Andrade. I hope whatever he does next is something that he loves to do. He would do well in AAA, but who owns AAA? And that might not be something that happens. AAA is owned by the WWE. If he just got released, fired from the WWE, chances are AAA is not an option for him. Could he go to CMLL? Could he go somewhere else? Potentially. All I hope is that the performer Andrade, in any facet, finds what he would like, and if by chance that is a third stint with WWE, I hope that works. If it's a second stint with AEW, I hope that works. If it's a first stint with somewhere else, I hope it works. But Andrade, no longer in WWE. So again, Rey Fenix, could he potentially go on his own? Yeah. We just saw that he opened up the United States Challenge for Sami Zayn. Do we think that's a pathway for Rey Fenix as his older brother Penta is on Raw doing his own thing? Personal opinion, I think him and his brother are eventually going to team up. We see Penta on Raw always putting himself in positions to be the odd man in a 3-on-1, 2-on-1. We know that he's currently feuding with the New Day and Grayson Waller. I think we could see Rey Fenix move over to Raw, and we could see the Lucha Bros against the New Day. And then we could see somebody go up against Grayson Waller. Now, we don't know if that will be the plan. We really don't know. But what we do know is that with Andrade not being there, that does create an opportunity for Rey Fenix. Now let's think whether or not he stays on SmackDown. Again, that United States Championship very well could be somewhere a target. He could go even to NXT and do something with some of the guys down there. Potentially even go after the Speed Championship. Which, by the way, do you think the Speed title's cursed? At least for the men, when we think about it. Ricochet wins the inaugural one. He's no longer with the company. Then you go to Andrade. He's no longer with the company now. Dragon Lee gets it. He has 3 months reportedly left on his contract. Is he looking like he could be out? We'll see in due time. Now, with Dragon Lee, I really hope it's just more of a, you got 3 months left, we'll resign you for another couple of years. I think Dragon Lee in the last little while has been really red hot. We've been seeing him alongside multiple other people going up against the Judgment Day in some way. He was just part of the AAA show on Friday night, which, if you haven't seen, was absolutely fantastic. Congratulations to Dirty Dom Mysterio, as he is now the new AAA Grand Champion, or Mega Champion, my apologies. He is now the first Mysterio to hold 2 titles in 2 different companies. And he is also the first Mysterio to hold the AAA Mega Championship. So, some history being made. Now, what I thought was very noteworthy on that was, yes, the Judgment Day, who in Finn Balor and JD McDonough said Dom had to do this on his own, but were there at ringside helping him out. We did see Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio come down to equal the odds until one El Grande Americano came down to give Dom a helping aid. So during the celebration, it was quite obvious that Dirty Dom was very grateful for El Grande Americano's assistance, to the point he left a group hug with the Judgment Day to give El Grande Americano a hug, who then raised his hand as we went off the air. So, something to look into, I believe. We've known that lately there's been multiple versions of the El Grande Americano. So maybe, just maybe, this is a new stable led by your new AAA Mega Champion and your current WWE Intercontinental Champion. We also saw a confirmation that I don't think wrestling fans would have predicted in the year 2025. We have a tag team match slated for WrestlePalooza that features CM Punk and AJ Lee. I want everybody to chime in if they had AJ Lee teaming up with CM Punk in 2025 on the bingo card when this year started. I want everyone to let me know in the comments if going in to Survivor Series War Games in Chicago, if just a mere couple years later you had CM Punk and AJ Lee back in the WWE on your bingo card. I know I didn't. I know that this was absolutely insane, not only to see AJ Lee, but also now her teaming with her husband CM Punk to go up against Seth Rollins and his wife Becky Lynch, the current Women's Intercontinental Champion. Who, by the way, let's give a little shout out to Becky Lynch with just the role she's been put in and the delivery she's had since aligning herself with Seth Rollins and the Vision. Just the way she's able to bait CM Punk and go toe-to-toe with him on the microphone in those segments. And then just the brilliant job she did when AJ Lee did return. I think Becky Lynch is solidifying herself as a top woman in WWE in the year 2025. And as much as I thought Io Sky had this on lock, I think it might be more of a 2-person race with the addition of Becky Lynch. Chris Best is coming in saying I'd like to be the first to admit that I didn't think AJ Lee would return, much less sign a multi-year deal. That's right. A crazy world we live in. We have AJ Lee and CM Punk in a ring in WWE in 2025. And they're going up against one of the company's best in-ring performers in Seth Rollins and one of the best female talents of all time in Becky Lynch. And it's not even the main event. Why? Because Joe Tessitore said on a recent show that Brock Lesnar versus John Cena is going to main event WrestlePalooza. Now, it's fitting. A lot of people are saying, why isn't the tag match? Well, why isn't it 2 of the biggest name draws in WWE? So I counter the argument with saying, you also don't have very much John Cena main events left, enjoy them while they last. Because in 4 months, you will not have John Cena on your screens anymore. Let that sink in. So if John Cena is here for just another couple months, are we really going to banter to why they're going to give him an opportunity to close out a show? Especially with one of the most dominant forces in WWE, especially in the last, 3 decades, in Brock Lesnar. Now, say what you want about Brock Lesnar being back in WWE. That's an opinion we're not going to go to. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't matter. I'm just saying it doesn't matter how we think of it. It's happening. And that's just the news we have to report on. We also saw the return of Cody Rhodes on Friday in SmackDown, and he issued a challenge to Drew McIntyre for his WWE Universal Championship, or Undisputed Universal, whatever you want to call it. Just rename the belt, or just call it WWE Championship, please. Stop with this Universal, Undisputed, Ultimatum. I don't care. Just put it there. Just simplify it. It's the WWE Championship. Let's just move on. So we have a triple main event pretty much there with those 3 matches, I would assume. Not a bad way to bring back a WrestlePalooza. Not a bad way to introduce perhaps a new yearly show in WWE. Also, not a bad way to counter AEW on the same day. Just saying. Yes, people say what you want about the 2 shows in one day. And the one thing you're not saying is, oh my God, look at all the amazing wrestling we get on one day. No. You got to create a narrative that it's a war. Oh no, because the Monday Night War didn't absolutely make wrestling awesome. No, not at all, right? No. And you can check out WrestlePalooza on the PLE Patrol here at Turnbuckle Studios. So make sure you're checking out Turnbuckle Studios for more information about that. I will not be there. Sadly, I will be at TNA as it's coming to Edmonton for Victory Road and other events. We're going to take this time to transition to a little bit more predictions for WrestlePalooza. Before then, I'm going to let everybody check in a little bit more about the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program and Turnbuckle Studios. That's right. If you want to be a part of us, if you want to come and be a tag team with myself, Chris Best, Carl Carafel, OMD, or Bubba Duke, and you want to add to the weekly calendar, if you want to work behind the scenes, if you just want to affiliate yourself with Turnbuckle Studios, well, you have an opportunity. But instead of me just telling you what you can do, let me show you a video of letting you know how.
A Turnbuckle Affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, video games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
That's right. If you want to go to turnbucklestudios.org, and you're going to be able to see that right now, taken down below. We have a newly designed website that gives you all the information, who we are, how you can know us a little bit more, how we got involved into this. Also, it gives you all the latest episodic shows that Turnbuckle Studios does. Everyone. All the latest ones. And all it is just a click of the button. There's also an opportunity to email. There's also an opportunity to fill out a form, resume, call it what you will, to let us know more about yourself. And that is a great way to give us a perspective on just who you are and how maybe you can help. So please, if you have time, go check that out. And if you want to join our team in any facet, please, why take the time to do something else? Take the time to take action and do it now. We now talk about WrestlePalooza, and we talked about the three-headed monster already. That's there. Whether it's the mixed tag match with CM Punk and AJ Lee going on against Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. Talked about Brock Lesnar and John Cena, and now the WWE Championship match with Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes. The one title we have not talked about already or yet, the Women's World title. We will get some questions being answered about who will be the next Women's World Champion as Io Sky takes on Stephanie Bakir for the vacant Women's Championship. We also have the Usos reuniting to take on Big Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. So let's get into it. What match do I think is going to start? Well, I think we're going to see the Usos versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. And I really like the story of where they're going here, giving you a little bit of a, yeah, we got the Usos back, but are they really back? They don't seem like they're in full Uso form, and they're not, because main event Jey Uso and his brother Jimmy Uso are there to fight the same people, but they're looking to do it in different ways. We saw a clash on Monday Night Raw where even Jimmy Uso told Jey Uso, "You don't sound like yourself. You sound more like Roman Reigns." And because of that, that allowed Jey Uso to get speared by LA Knight as Raw went off the air. So what does this mean? It means that tomorrow for the Raw Patrol, Monday Night Raw is going to be very interesting. So I can't wait for that to see what they do right before WrestlePalooza. How do the Usos manage to get on the same page? But if they can't, then they are in a world of hurt. And that is why I predict Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed will defeat the Usos. But this is far from over. But I do have Big Bronson Reed pinning Jimmy Uso. 1, 2, 3. Then we move to what I believe will be the next match, and that is the WWE Championship match. I think Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes is going to be there. And I don't even think that this is a one-off match. I do think that we're going to see a lot more than just one match, but it's going to be more of a fight. It's why I could see that this maybe turns into a disqualification or something that builds to something larger. You also have to wonder if Randy Orton is going to get involved. Yes, he did lose to Drew McIntyre on SmackDown, but he's also been eyeing up Cody Rhodes' championship ever since he finished his story. I'm going to go with Cody Rhodes leaving with his championship, but I have a feeling Drew McIntyre picks up a win, and I'm going to go with a disqualification win for Drew McIntyre that allows this story to continue, and maybe, just maybe, also brings in Randy Orton. I then go to what I think should be right in the middle of the card, and that is the mixed tag match. CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. And I think this match is very straight to the point. Yes, I have AJ Lee pinning Becky Lynch to win this match. There's not a lot you can do with CM Punk and Seth Rollins right now, you just want to see them beat the living crap out of each other. So let them. Anytime they're in a ring and in a scheduled match, let them. But they don't need to beat each other. It's not going to change anything. There needs to be a definitive end to this. And that definitive end is the championship that Seth Rollins does have. And that is the World Heavyweight Championship. So, I believe this is more about the Intercontinental Championship. And what a way to make it worthwhile than to have AJ Lee pin Becky Lynch. And then now, Becky Lynch knows that there is somebody that has beat her. There is somebody that got one up on her. And I don't know if Becky Lynch's ego will be able to take that. So I think an Intercontinental title match is down the road for AJ Lee. Then we get to what I believe is the co-main event, semi-main event. And that is the vacant women's championship match. Io Sky versus Stephanie Vickier. And I have a feeling that this match is going to bring in a lot of chaos. And that sadly is around one Io Sky. We know that Rhea Ripley and Asuka have been clashing as of late. And we know Asuka and Io Sky have kind of had some rocky roads as of late as well. So I think the Kabuki Warriors are going to get involved, maybe try to help Io. I think maybe Io ends up telling them to get out and not help. This creates a confrontation. This brings in Rhea Ripley. She then tries to beat up Asuka. And then we see the distraction allow Stephanie Vickier to pick up and become your new Women's World Champion with a 1-2-3 pin on Io Sky. I think this has a lot of Survivor Series implications. We talked about last week how it's survival mode. And now survival mode has turned into a time where we must light it up. And light it up we will, as I think everything will go into a more heated direction after WrestlePalooza. Yes, Stephanie Vickier will win the championship, but Io Sky, I think, will lose friends, whether it's both Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Rhea Ripley. And I think for the first time, Io Sky has no idea what side she wants to be on. And I think it's going to be a very, very entertaining and intriguing direction for Io Sky when she goes into the new part. Maybe just a path on her own. Then we get to the main event of Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. This match is going to be filled with probably a lot of nostalgia. As we all know, these two men started in the same class at OVW. We all know that Brock Lesnar made his return to take out John Cena. We all know that there is decades on decades of history between these two. If you don't remember, there was a move called the FU, then named to the Attitude Adjustment, that had a very similar look to the F5. A lot of people don't remember that it was John Cena himself that came up with the F5. And then it was later given to Brock Lesnar when Brock Lesnar got onto the main event or onto the Raw roster. That was, in essence, why John Cena called his finisher the FU. There's been a lot of matches in the past. There's been a lot of bloodshed between the two in the past. But the one thing we can say is this will be the last time John Cena and Brock Lesnar have a match. We saw on SmackDown R-Truth come down, stand up for his older brother in John Cena. Gotta love R-Truth. So it'll be very intriguing to see if R-Truth does come and is any part of this match. The one person I think will be a part in this match that I don't think we're going to see, and this is definitely a direction change for Brock Lesnar. And it's a great way to kind of take Brock Lesnar away from John Cena. I have a feeling Gunther, the ring general, might make his return to the company since his title loss to CM Punk. And I think he might target Brock Lesnar. I do think a Brock Lesnar-Gunther match is something that will happen and could very much be a WrestleMania-type match. And what a better time to make the first ever WrestlePalooza something, but by have someone beat up Brock Lesnar. And that person isn't named John Cena. So those are my WrestlePalooza predictions. Let me know in the comments yours. If you need some time to type that up, it's okay. Because right now we're going to play the weekly calendar here for Turnbuckle Studios. So that'll give you about a minute or two before you want to give me your thoughts on WrestlePalooza. So check out what is on tap with Turnbuckle Studios.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thursday we go TNA when we brace for Impact at 7:55 p.m. Eastern. Friday we secure all details as we answer the call for the SmackDown security detail at 8 p.m. Eastern. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. Eastern. On Sundays be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Eastern. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
That's what everything we have going on every week here at Turnbuckle Studios. Obviously, the one thing you don't see because it's not a weekly occurrence is the PLE Patrol. Once again, the next time you'll be able to see that is Saturday, September 20th for WrestlePalooza. Now, if anybody's wondering about Monday, tomorrow for Monday Night Raw, it is my belief that we will still stay at our normal time slot, despite Raw being an hour early. It's just a way that allows us to keep the opportunity for all of us to get together here to talk and enjoy Monday Night Raw. So it is my belief that that is the plan. Also, if you're watching on Twitch by chance, I want to let you know that it is a great time for subs. That's right. You can save up to 30% on new subs until October 1. It does end in just over 2 weeks' time. So if you ever thought it was a good time to sub to the Chris Parrish on Twitch, well, now is a cheaper time. So it wouldn't be a bad idea. I can also be remiss if you like what you see on the YouTube side of things, please hit that thumbs up, that notification bell button to alert anytime myself or even Turnbuckle Studios is on. And if you don't mind, just hit that subscribe button because it does go a long way and definitely helps the channel grow. If you're over on Spotify and you see the Chris Parrish podcast there, please rate the show because it does help the growth over on Spotify as well. And there's obviously, if you want to just give a fun little emoticon over on Facebook, that'd be fantastic as well. If you're over on Instagram, I appreciate you guys. Sadly, over on StreamYard, the comments on Instagram do not appear on the comment side here. So I do have to just read them as I have a different screen open for that. But I do see it, and I do thank everyone on there for following and checking out the Chris Parrish podcast as we go live. And if you want to get more exclusive stuff over on Instagram, you can do that. All you have to do is subscribe there as well. It's been an absolute insane time to be a wrestling fan lately. When you look at everything that we have, whether it's WWE partnering up with TNA, whether it's WWE acquiring AAA, whether it's CM Punk and AJ Lee in a ring or John Cena's retirement tour, or whether it's AEW going to the 2300 arena, it's been quite the year in pro wrestling. So the one thing I do want to talk about is something that I cannot believe with everything we do get. Why is there so much negativity online about pro wrestling? It makes no sense to me. Now, I understand the whole idea of supporting your company. And if you have a friendly debate about pro wrestling, that's all well and good. But no, it's not a good idea to slander or to do anything just because you have a different opinion. You both like pro wrestling. You both enjoy it. It's why you guys got together and had that conversation. So just step back, enjoy what you like, talk about it, and leave it there. There is no reason to get so upset about it. Just stick with what you like, simplify the way you watch things, and it'll be a lot better. It's why, if you've ever asked why I only cover WWE and for the small point, TNA, it's because that's what I watch. I don't have cable, so I don't have in Canada TSN to where AEW is shown. So I don't watch it because I don't have the ability to. But I do have Netflix, and I see everything WWE there, and I do have Sportsnet, so I watch TNA. Also, I get hockey with Sportsnet, so that's why I have it. It gives me multiple reasons. TSN, let's be honest, doesn't really give me much to watch outside of maybe AEW. But cable's just too, it's just not an expensive thing. And we all know the troubles of having a million streaming services that we have to pay for. It's not fun, especially when everyone decides to raise their prices whenever they want. It's not cool. It's not affordable. I can't even begin to tell you how much I am thankful that I am not an American citizen who has to pay for multiple streaming platforms to watch even a single company. It's just insane. Just insane. We know WrestlePalooza is going to be a big show. Survivor Series is just around the corner. We're already at the midpoint of September, which means we are 4 months away from the Royal Rumble. And the Royal Rumble will take place in Saudi Arabia for the first time. But that is not the only major PLE in Saudi Arabia. No, because earlier this week, WWE announced for the first time WrestleMania is going to be outside of North America. It's not going to be in Canada, and it's not going to be in the United States. And I know the fans wanted it to be in the United Kingdom. But because of the working relationship that WWE has with the Riyadh people and Saudi Arabia is going to get WrestleMania 43 in 2027. Now, in my eyes, this major announcement that was being reported was pretty obvious. It kind of seemed like a letdown, and there's been a lot of people explaining how nobody there looked happy. Now, say what you will about the relationship and the money that comes in. I will say I have read some reports, and WWE is believed, and this I have checked, believed to get over $350 million for the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. As a business, how do you even explain being upset? It's a business. And at the end of the day, the business's job is to create revenue and to become profitable. So, business sense, pretty big move. Now, what does this mean for WrestleMania 43? Well, it could very well mean a very earlier WrestleMania, which might not be the worst thing. We'll be able to enjoy the rest of our days and talk about WrestleMania. So it'll be very different to enjoy the grandest stage of them all at maybe 10 a.m., 11 a.m., depending on where you live. But nonetheless, Saudi Arabia is the home of WrestleMania 33, and it's most likely going to be a very big WrestleMania. You have to only wonder what it could do for wrestling. But also, let's look at the decision that WWE made, and that is to take WrestleMania away from Canada and the United States. So whether or not you're upset about it not being anywhere else or that it is in Saudi Arabia, for the first time, WWE is saying we are open on having WrestleMania outside of North America. So I think it's just a matter of time that WWE goes to the United Kingdom, goes to Australia, goes to Ireland, maybe Japan, and we see WrestleManias in these places. I think right now it's just patience. I do believe WWE is still honoring the deal that Vince McMahon made. We know that Triple H made good of the deal that he had with Goldberg. That came from Vince McMahon. We all know that Vince McMahon was the initial person who struck the deal with Saudi Arabia. So you have to almost look at it as this is just Triple H honoring deals that were grandfathered by before him. So I don't think this is terrible. I'm intrigued to see kind of how big WrestleMania is going to be. The one thing you cannot say is that if you're somebody who lives in Saudi Arabia, how pumped would you be if you're a wrestling fan and you get WrestleMania? For the people there, it's going to be amazing. And they have more than enough people there that, yeah, maybe you don't see a lot of people traveling from all over the world for WrestleMania, and that's okay. Because guess what? SummerSlam is now 2 nights. SummerSlam is now almost compared to WrestleMania in a lot of ways. Definitely felt it this year. So maybe SummerSlam in 2027 is just the biggest party of the year. maybe SummerSlam is the ticket that everybody wants in 2027. And I think that is okay, because if the rumors do happen and we see 2 nights for Royal Rumble, we see 2 nights for Survivor Series, maybe we get 2 nights for Money in the Bank. It's all gonna add up and be very expensive for the wrestling fan. Speaking of prices are reportedly have been slashed for WrestlePalooza, and there might just be cheaper options there. So please, if you can, check that out. You might be able to score a deal. We know that WWE tickets have been absolutely insane as of late. So if by chance there's more affordable ways out there, I'd say go ahead and try and look. That's only if you're in that area or you're looking at going. I mean, could be John Cena's last main event. It probably won't, because his last match will be, but it's AJ Lee's in-ring return. It's a pretty big deal. Pretty big deal. Also, if you like what you see and you want to just rep what you see, you want to have some swag, you want to have some shirts, some hoodies, some hats, some stickers, some phone cases, anything that has, whether or not the Chris Parrish podcast logo, whether it's the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program logo, whether it's the Turnbuckle Studios logo, whether or not you just want a Bubba Deuce, we got you covered over at carlcarafel.redbubble.com. So please check out this video just to see a little bit more. If anything can be a little intriguing to you, check this out. That one's not. Yeah, let me repeat myself, as I butchered that one now, didn't I? Let me restart. If you want that website, once again, it is carlcarafel.redbubble.com. That is his link tree. Oh my God, this is a bad day. carlcarafel.redbubble.com. There it is. Yeah, I can go check out his link tree. It's Redbubble's on there too. You can also check out turnbucklestudios.org, because that'll direct you to a lot more things, just like getting a chance to be a part of Turnbuckle Studios. So once again, we'll play that video and then we'll let you know about what is in store next week.
A Turnbuckle Affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, videos, games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today, because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
And I do want to let everybody know that it is not just wanting more people for on-screen work. If there are opportunities to get people to work behind the scenes as well, that is also something we are looking at. So if you have the skills that help the show be better, or if you have the shows to help generate more attention, to bring in more people and grow the community that we've already have made here at Turnbuckle Studios, then the more, the better. Episode 94, light it up. We all know it's because of the X Summit for AJ Lee. But we all know that, well, we're hitting that time. So what is next week And I got you covered there. Episode 95. Let's talk about it. If you know, you know. It's all about our TNA champion, Trick Williams. We'll let you know if he is still your TNA champion come next week. That's right. We will find out more if he is going to be even TNA champion, because he does go and face Mike Santana coming up for that championship. It's going to be fun. I don't even know if for Victor Road in Edmonton, if he's even going to be your TNA champion. So it's very tricky. But let's talk about it. Will be episode 95, and I can't wait. This has been episode 94. Light it up. Once again, if you want to help support the show and show some love, then you can go to my link tree at Chris Parrish. You can help with subscriptions. You can help with just about any way. Thumbs up on YouTube. Rate my shows. Tell me if I'm doing a good job. Even text me and let me know if I sucked this week. I will listen to everything. It is okay. But for tonight, I hope you enjoy your Sunday. I hope you enjoy week 2 of the NFL season. The second Sunday football upon us. I know I will. But no matter what, be happy. Be healthy. And at the end of the day, know that you matter. I'll see you next week. Have a great day.